What's up, guys? Will Johnson here with eXp Realty, your host of Where to Live in Nashville. Man, if you're on the hunt for the best Nashville suburbs and you want a resort style living with an easy commute to Nashville, man, you've got to see this. So today we're at 212 Astoria Drive in Hendersonville at the popular Mansker Farms community, known for its multiple pools, tennis courts, and walking trails. So a huge shout out to the listing agent, Brandon Koechlin with Meritage Homes, for bringing this stunner to the market. This is one of the most beautiful Sherwood floor plans that you're going to see, featuring 4 bedrooms, over 2,700 square feet, and an amazing 2-story foyer. Now listen, if this home is your dream home, call me directly at 615-265-1000. I'll negotiate for you on the buy side, and Brandon gets his well-deserved credit on the sell side. It's a win-win. So we're skipping the street walk today and heading straight inside this to give you the vibe so you can find out if this is your tribe. So let's see what $605,785 gets you here in Hendersonville. So some of the first things that I notice, one, I love the mix of the hardy board and the brick. Just adds a little bit of extra character on the outside. Even looking at those garage doors, the little windows that are above. So not only does it add in that little extra touch of natural light, but it also just makes it look nicer on the front. So speaking of the front, you don't have many steps to get up here. You're looking at basically 2.5 steps. Very wide front porch. You can definitely put some rocking chairs out here, no problem at all. Probably 3, honestly, or 2 and a table. So let's go check out the kitchen, living room area, at least do a quick 360 before we do an in-depth dive into the house. So here we go, just panning to show you the kitchen area. Some things of note initially are the size of the island. It does have a nice farmhouse sink. You can probably tell quickly from the video that it does have gas. And scanning over to the living room area, you do have a gas fireplace. Which is nice. I like, especially in the wintertime, Christmas time, it just makes it feel a little bit cozy. So speaking of cozy and tucked away, that staircase is anything but obstructive. You don't even see it from the front door, which is great. So we'll start the tour here back at the beginning and we'll work our way through the house. So I'm a big fan of these LVP floors. It gives like a richness to it, but also some durability. You've got a large wall here to display some artwork, family pictures as you're first walking in. Glass door, so that does cost a little bit extra for the builder to put in, but it does just make it feel more open with the natural light there. So as you first walk into the right, we do have a bedroom on the main floor. I think most people would use this as an office, but not necessarily. Very doable for you to be able to use this, as a bedroom. So if you've got a family member with you that may have a challenge with stairs, then, it's nice to have that bedroom on the main floor. So some things to note about Meritage Homes is that they've come with so many goodies. We'll get into those as we're going throughout the tour, but there's a lot of things that are built in to that price. So we've got a half bath here, but this is a lot larger than your typical half bath. So if you kind of you feel claustrophobic sometimes when you're looking at a half bath, this is not one of those by any means. So you've got a pedestal sink, elongated toilet, and I do like, it's a small touch, but having the toilet paper holder and the hand towel holder already there, giving you a look at the light fixture there. And we'll keep it moving. So this door here goes to a coat closet, which you could definitely use as a coat closet, right? Like it's got, you can hang coats there. But I'll be honest, a lot of times when you've got a drop zone, people don't really use a coat closet much anymore. So can you put your vacuum cleaner, your mop, your you know, broom and all that stuff in here, you can, but this also makes like some additional pantry space. Like if you wanted to put your paper towels in here or bottled waters or any other thing, like the floor is pretty deep in here to where you can do that. So some things of note, they do have an electric outlet up on the wall, and I'm not sure what's behind that piece of plastic, but you know, some other form of access that's there. So we'll take a look at the drop zone here. So you've got 2 cubbies up above to be able to put some haps, a little bit of shelving up above, 2 hooks, some wainscoting on the back, a little extra trim work to make it look very nice. You do have a room for seating while you're putting your shoes on, and an area below to be able to stuff shoes or whatever that you would like. So one thing that I'm noticing as I'm going through here is all of the trim work, right? Like all the doorways, you do have some framing around to make it look a little bit extra nice. So yeah, so we're in the laundry room. You notice that there is a washer and dryer in here. So you find that in all the Meritage homes. They come fully stocked. So they include the washer, the dryer, the refrigerator, which rarely is included in new construction. So it's not uncommon for investors to purchase these, like they'll buy them in bulk, simply because, you know, everything's included in the loan. So if you're leveraging, that makes it pretty nice to be able to do. So as you open the garage door, this is a little bit unique, but this unique in a great way, right? So as you open up that garage door, you're not immediately met with whatever stuff that you may have. If you don't have the neatest garage, this is, you know, you've got a little bit of a corner to go before getting to the cars, but that's also some extra area that you could store some stuff. So I would say overall, the garage is pretty average size. But you've definitely got room for a fridge in here. And something that you don't expect for this price point is for it to have a tankless. So I'm a big fan of tankless, but yeah, this little area, which is kind of that little side area as you're walking out, 100% you could fit a fridge right here without any problems whatsoever, which would be super convenient. As you know, you're not too far off of far off of the kitchen from there. So, all right, so let's go a little bit more in depth into the kitchen. So I'll give you one thing of note, and I'm sure that you noted this already, is the difference in color from the island to the rest of the cabinets in the kitchen. I like it, and it causes a little bit more pop. It just makes it look a little bit more upscale. It doesn't even really matter that much, you know, the color contrast, as long as they're 2 different colors. And some people may like that continuity, but I would say most probably do like a little bit of difference in color between the 2. Just add some variety. So you've got a very popular hard surface here, just giving you a close-up of what that looks like. Pretty deep farmhouse sink. Give you an idea of the faucet fixture there. And so something to note too, let's see if you can pick this out without me showing it to you. But something to notice as well here in the kitchen, one is the tall cabinets, but the big thing that I wanted to note is that you do have some drawers. So if you've got a kitchen now that doesn't have drawers, you don't know what you're missing. And if you do have a kitchen that has drawers, I don't know that you'll ever go back, just for pots and pans. And so, I mean, think about it. So you've got these 2 drawers here. So normally you would just have a cabinet there, right? You're opening up the cabinet, and whatever's in that top drawer, if these drawers were not here, you are stacking on top of whatever's in the bottom drawer there. So it just makes it so much more convenient. You don't have to reach all the way to the back, pull a bunch of stuff off to get what you're really wanting. So to have at least 1 set of drawers in the kitchen is a game changer. It's really, really nice. So you do have, and again, for this price point, you're not necessarily expecting to have this, but it is a nice plus. So the, you know, the pull-out area where you can put the dual trash cans, just to keep those hidden and to keep your kitchen a little bit more with cleaner lines. So let's do a little bit of a close-up of the backsplash so you can get an idea of what that looks like. a lot of value in these homes. A lot of extras thrown in, so a lot of bang for the buck. Something else to note about these Meritage homes, and I'll go over this. I'm actually going to be doing a tour. So if you like this video, I'm doing a tour of all of their floor plans in this neighborhood. So be sure to check those out, check out the series. So if this floor plan isn't for you and you like maybe one of the other floor plans that they have here, then feel free to check out the other videos. And this is a great neighborhood. I can say that. I lived in this neighborhood for probably 6 or 7 years back when it was first being built, back in '07. So, and it was one of the favorite neighborhoods my kids ever lived in. So I can't speak more highly of Mansker Farms itself than super easy access to be able to get to Nashville. But yeah, so you've got a lot of rows in the walk-in pantry here to be able to put your stuff. So yeah, the shelving is well done there. You do have the electric outlets. And I point this out because there are some new laws that have come out where you're not seeing this on all of the islands. So it can depend on what community that you're in, that you don't see this on all of them. So I'm pointing it out on those that do. So, you know, you can get kind of a good idea. So yeah, if you're in the living room, or you're in the kitchen here, you're gonna have very likely your TV above that fireplace. So it's super easy. Like I'm standing behind the island, I'm sitting here, you know, pretend I'm doing dishes. You're still able to very easily interact with everybody that's you've got over. And this house is really well done for entertaining. So I'm a big fan of this light fixture over the dining table. Easily fit 6, potentially if you're pushing it, maybe fit 8 under there. Yeah. So that would flow really well out into the outdoor living space, which will end our tour there. As you guys have watched these tours, you kind of probably get an idea of how the flow goes. But this living room space, wow. Because there's normally the door to the outdoor space would be right here. They've cleverly put it right here. So that way you could put a big sectional, put a couch against this wall without it obstructing your ability to be able to walk outside. So seating for, I mean, if you put a sectional over here, you could probably fit, you know, 6, 7 people on that sectional. And then you've got some more space on this side that if you want to put, you know, a couple of chairs. So 8, super easy to be able to seat around this fireplace, and even a nice little mantle there. I like that you can put some stuff on top, especially for the holidays. That, you know, is a great little touch. So let's go check out the master. So one thing to note is just for noise purposes and also for privacy purposes, there's not a door that's right here. You've got to walk around the corner a little bit to get to that door, and it just gives you more of a sense of some privacy. So you see that a lot in higher end homes where you've got to go around the corner, but sometimes for cost savings, you don't always see that, you know, at this price point. Not that, you know, around, you know, when you're getting in the $500,000 to $600,000 price range, that's a super inexpensive home. But for Nashville, that's not, you know, really that high. So plenty of room to fit a king size bed. Super easy to be able to do that in here. It's so nice to be able to have the blinds that are built in. And you've got you know, it's already pre-wired for your TV up on the wall. And then, yeah, let's go check out the master bath. You do have a bit of a tray ceiling here, which is a good thing. So you do have a tub, separate tub and separate shower. So we'll check out the tub. This is a little bit wider than a normal tub would be. So it'll give you a little bit more room to spread out. I like how it's got, you know, on both sides. You would be able to see that from regular pictures, but a place to be able to put your arms, or just to be able to, you know, put whatever that you would want to put there while you're taking a bath. Do have a little bit of tile around the tub, just to protect the drywall some, and a pretty nice size window here to let in some natural light. So let's check out the shower now. Close this door and do a little bit of a close-up of some of the shower fixtures. So tile goes almost all the way to the ceiling. Not quite, but definitely high enough that you shouldn't worry about any splashing getting on any of the drywall. And you do have a cleverly placed little ledge right here to be able to put your shampoo, along with another location right here. So I'll give you a little bit of a close-up of the tile on the floor here, so that way you can see what that looks like. And a very small step up over the shower, not really much at all to be concerned about. So maybe a hair higher than normal, but not high enough to where really for anybody that would, you know, keep them from being able to use the shower. So I do like that they've got a towel bar built in over the tub. It's just nice, right? That way you don't have to just lay it on the floor or get it up beside, you know, you can actually, you know, have a place for it to be able to hang. So let's check out the closet space here. So I would say for the square footage of this house, it's a pretty typical size walk-in closet. It's a good size for sure. Definitely enough for 2 people. And yeah, even in the closet space, you see that they've got the baseboards that are in here, which, you know, gives it a little bit nicer look. You're noticing here that we're in the closet and there's not carpet in here. So they do carry that LVP into that closet space off of the main. You're like, well, what's the big deal of that? Well, a lot of times when you're using that, you're coming out of the shower, so your feet may still be wet. So it's nice to have that LVP in there, just, you know, so you don't start picking up moisture in the carpet area. So you do have a door to the water closet, elongated toilet, and actually it's pretty cool here on this side. This, you don't always see this. As a matter of fact, you probably less often than more often do you have an electric plug on the side of that second sink. So usually the person over here that's on the left sink gets hooked up, and if you've got a hairdryer or, you know, electric toothbrush or whatnot, you've got a place to hook it up. But you do actually have a place to hook it up over on this side as well. So just noting some of the little things. Also, on these cabinets, you do have that center set of drawers, you know, which is nice to be able to have for some extra places to put your stuff. All right, if you guys are ready, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and head upstairs. One thing to note about the stairs is just, you know, 1, there's wood treads, and 2, they've added a pop of color. So instead of them being a lighter color or maybe matching, you know, what's on the walls, they've added a darker color in there, which makes it stand out a little bit more. So upstairs you do have carpet, and yeah, we'll give a tour around here. So let's start off with this loft area. So a really good size loft area. You do have an area back here. We'll open the door to give you a peek, and there's a little bit of a surprise. So this is walk-in storage, but one thing I want you to note is I want you to look at the ceiling, right? So this is another thing about Meritage Homes, is that they do the blown-in insulation. So why is that important? It's much, much better than more of a traditional insulation. It's gonna make quite a bit of a difference in your heating and cooling bill. So again, that's not something that you would necessarily know about it, but that's why we do these tours. So a lot of bang for the buck. Again, you're not expecting that at this price point because it does cost them more to do that, but it is nice that they have done that. So let's check out some of the bedrooms that are upstairs. So this is a larger than normal secondary bedroom. Check out the closet here. So a pretty standard closet. You do have a little bit of extra space over here to the left and a little bit of extra space over to the right. Not a ton, but you do. But what's cool about this bedroom, is the attached bath. So this is a full bath, so a shub tower combo. And yeah, so lots of built-in shelving around the sides. You've got your elongated toilet. I'll give you a little bit of a close-up of the tile so you can see that a little bit better. And I kind of like what they've got going on here as far as some of their hard surfaces here. Give you more of a close-up of the fixtures there. And we do have some lighting up above, but yeah, it's always nice to have a secondary bedroom that has a full bath attached to it. So just to the left of that bedroom, we do have extra closet space that's here. So if you keep an extra vacuum or other items upstairs, this would be a great closet to be able to keep that in. Since we're going ahead and doing closets, we might as well hit the other one that's in the hallway. So this is more of your traditional closet where you'd keep all the towels, blankets, washcloths, extra sheets, that sort of thing. So this is the second full bath that's upstairs here. So this would be more of kind of a community use area for the other bedrooms. And your tile's going to be pretty similar in here. Your fixtures are going to be pretty similar to the other tub shower combination. So, but yeah, just want to give you guys all of the angles to make this worth your time for coming to check it out. So, man, I wish when I was searching for houses that this was taking place, where I could just be on the couch or in the bed chilling, watching TV, and not even have to leave my house to be able to get, you know, a tour of a neighborhood that I'm considering. So you've got two windows on this one, on this spare bedroom. And this is a larger than normal spare bedroom as well. So as you can see, this does not have a full bath connected to it, but it does have a larger closet than the other. So this one goes quite a bit deeper. You've got hanging space here. I mean, you can see this is quite a bit deeper, and you've got some hanging space over to the right as well. So if you prefer to have the closet space instead of having the bathroom attached, then that's an option for you there. So this is the final bedroom that's upstairs, and we'll check this one out. This one only has one window, so if you want, some people like a darker room, right? They sleep better with less natural light that comes in there. So there's no hating going on here, no hating, just showing you in case you have a preference. So this is kind of like the Three Little Bears, right? So this closet is in the middle as far as size goes between the other spare bedrooms that's up here. So everything's going to be carpeted up here except for the bathrooms, which, you know, it does help with the sound piece, and it helps with, you know, I mean, most of the time when you're upstairs, you're just chilling, and so carpet on the feet is not too bad. So last, we're going to go check out the outside space to give you an idea of what this lot looks like, to give you an idea of what to expect on this floor plan. So you do have hardy board that's out here. It is covered as well, so you'll be able to use this a lot more around the year. You've got some concrete down here, and yeah, I mean, you've got enough room, I would say, probably for 3 chairs out here and a grill. Just depends on where you're putting the chairs. So if you put the chairs back here, and then, you know, you've already got an electric outlet here, easily put your TV up on that wall, and you're set. You're good to go. So, so yeah, it's very quiet out here. Can you tell? It's very quiet. So the backyard does go up a little bit, but that also helps with the privacy piece. Like, nobody's staring in your backyard, because even this house off to the right is offset just a little bit. So they're not going to be able to check out, you know, the inside of your home. So I'm going out a little bit further just because I want to show you in this community, one of the things that's really famous for is the rolling hills that you can see in the background. So very beautiful, very peaceful. It was not uncommon when I lived here to have deer coming in that would roam through the backyard, and kind of miss that, if I'm being honest. So I just want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. And I want to also give, Brandon a huge shout out again for allowing us to tour this area. But yeah, be sure to like and subscribe. Feel free to leave some comments. I really appreciate you guys. There's a lot of things you could be doing with your day. And so you hanging out on the channel, checking out some of these home tours, it really means the world for me. So if I can help you in any way, you've got my contact info, 615-265-1000. And yeah, just God bless you and hope you have a great day.